What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more QBA Draft League battles with live commentary. Today we are playing Flare of the Horror, the Frozen, I'm going to script this name. We're playing Flare. I'm very sorry, Flare, for screwing up your team name. I always forget it. But we're hopping straight into things. The only reason that I'm not doing a full proper intro is I am running a little bit late to some plans right now, and we're trying to squeeze in everything as fast as we can. So talking a little bit about my team while we get into this, it's Manectric, Machamp, Wishy-Washy, Stakataka, Chansey, and Meowstic. So some weird sort of damage coming out from places, right? Like we have access to Machamp, Manectric, Wishy-Washy, and Stack, so we have some good damage across the board. The main sort of issue, right, is we don't really have a good way to set up Trick Room, and we do have a very sort of Trick Room oriented mode, right? We have that Wishy-Washy, we have that Stakataka, we have that Chansey, and we have that Meowstic. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how we're able to set up accordingly. But yeah, we can kind of go from there. I think I've just been very busy, so I haven't really prepped too much for this. I'm just hoping that we can sort of follow our dreams and get us there. The thing also worth noting is my opponent does have Mineshow as well as an Aegislash, which does make Chansey very, very scared, but we're hoping to be able to play around that the best that we can. So there's also the Tangela, which is a little scary. I want to lead Meowstic with Meowstic. Manectric feels fine here. I'm going to bring Chansey in the back, and then I'm going to bring... I don't really like Stakataka here. The only argument for Stakataka is the fact that there's a Shuckle here, and that can go for some power splits, and we don't really want that. So what I'm also hoping to do, right, is to set up Electric Terrain to stop a Gothitelle going for stuff, and then kind of play around from there. We do have Safeguard on Meowstic, so that is something very helpful, right, being able to set up that terrain. I mean, not that terrain, that protection against something like a Sleep Powder. We also do have access to Electric Terrain, as we are going to see Mineshow Gothitelle. So this is more or less what I was expecting. I think we want to go for the Max Lightning right off the bat, just trying to get rid of this Mineshow, and then I think we go for the Safeguard. We also do, interestingly enough, actually, I have a better idea. I'm going to try and skill swap away that Gothitelle and go for a Max Lightning onto the Mineshow. The important thing with this is we're going to be able to set that Electric Terrain. We know, I assume that Manectric is faster than Gothitelle. I don't actually know fully, but would definitely love to be able to steal that boost from their Pokemon in order to better set us up. And so we are going to see a commitment to a max. This definitely is going to be the Mineshow, right? We did see the speed interaction. And so what I'm hoping to do is, right, Mineshow going for a max means its Knuckle is going to be a little bit weaker. So we can kind of use that to our advantage, right, of getting some damage off. We can set up a Reflect the next turn, and that should hopefully help us out, though. But, like, one thing we do have to be very weary of is going to be a Max Guard followed by a Hypnosis onto this Manectric, right? Putting it to sleep and immediately wasting our Max. It's not necessarily the end of the world, but something to consider, as we're going to see Perfect the Fake Out come out into the Manectric. Love to see that. We're going to be able to skill swap, so we are unfortunately giving that Gothitelle Prankster, which is never ideal, but now we're making it so we trap them in, which is helpful for us as we see the Airstream come out onto the Meowstic. Meowstic taking that very, very well, and so that's going to let us fire off some big damage. Also important to note, right, is we have gotten a nice little what's it called? A nice little lightning off. So now we don't have to worry about the Hypnosis. Doing a really solid chunk into the Mineshow. We do have to fear a potential ally switch, but I want to try and set up a Reflect, just trying to capitalize on the situation as much as we can. Right, so let's go for a Reflect here, and then go for a Max Lightning onto this Mineshow. I really don't want to play too heavily into a Chansey endgame, but we might have to. right? And now there's kind of the desire to take out this Mineshow, right? I mean, not Mineshow. what is this thing's name? Meowstick, right? Because we stole your skill swap. I mean, we stole your attack boost. We're gonna see the Flutterby come out into the Meowstick. So this Mineshower really having all of the tools necessary to put on a ton of pressure. We are going to get our special attack drop. So the question is, with the electric terrain, will we be able to do enough to get the knockout? As the lightning going to come out here, hopefully this should be able to pick up the KO. And it looks like it does. And so now is the big question of what do you have in the back? We could see an Aegislash. Aegislash is definitely scary. We could also see a Trick Room come out, right? That is definitely an option, as yeah, we are going to see that. So this is a pretty good position for me, all things considered, given the fact that, right, I have access to a Stakataka, which has the ability just to go for a Gyro Ball. There's no trapping happening, and even if you want to bring out something like an Aegislash to go for a Sacred Sword, we do have that Choppleberry to better soak up hits, and we have the ability to fire off Flare. So yeah, we are going to see that Aegislash come out here, just kind of what was expected. I'm going to Gyro Ball into the Gothitelle and go for a Flare onto the Aegislash. It is a little bit tricky, just given the fact that, what's it called? Aegislash does have access to an item, so it very well could have something like a Focus Sash, but that's not necessarily the end of the world, right? Because if you're attacking into Stakataka, it means you're changing form, and that is going to lower your defense. So we're going to see the Protect here. That's totally fine. We could see a Weakness Policy, which is always very scary, as the Gothitelle going to go for the taunt here. Not really sure why at this point, as we already have set up the Trick Room in our favor, taking advantage of that Gothitelle, putting on a lot of pressure with Stakataka. Unfortunately, not enough for that 2-hit KO. I really would have loved that, right? Being able to immediately go for a knockout and get that defense boost, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen here. But we are going to be able to set up the Sun, which is going to be huge, as we do see it is unfortunately going to be that Weakness Policy reveal. So something definitely that I was afraid of, right? So what we could have done is we could have gone for a hit into the Aegislash with something else, but I think it's fine just to go for another Rock Slide, as well as go for the Flamethrower onto this Aegislash. You probably have identified at this point that you need to target down the Manectric, right? There is the Sun Up, there is the chance of a Flamethrower just picking up a knockout, so you probably are going to attack into me. We're going to see the Gothitelle withdraw. So the question now is, what do you have in the back? It is going to be that Tangela, right? That suggests to me you're trying to go for that Rage Powder, as we're seeing no Protect at all either. So that's huge. Unfortunately, yeah, not doing much damage into the Tangela as a result of just how bulky it is and its low speed. We're going to see the Sacred Sword into the Manectric, unfortunately. So this is bad for us, right? Because Chansey now is in this position where it cannot do anything. Sacred Sword is going to be able to ignore my evasion boost. So that, right, is something we really can't deal with. I want to go for a Body Press onto this Tangela, as well as go for a Seismic Toss as well. If we can get rid of it, we have a chance. Probably not, right, because of the fact that we can't hit, what's it called? We cannot hit the Aegislash with the Body Press, so don't really love to see that, as yeah, we're barely doing any damage. Its bulk really coming out here. And so now the big question is, how do we adjust for Aegislash game 2? As we are going to see, it is just going to be able to actually not one-shot our Chansey. Forgetting about the electric terrain though, so that's always really nice. The electricity, unfortunately, is going to disappear this turn. We don't have a way, like I said, to hit this this Tangela, so I'm gonna have to go for this. I'm gonna go for a soft boiled. Yeah, we can't run, unfortunately. So I don't unfortunately have a way of dealing with this Aegislash. I think what we have to do is we're going to have to use probably Meowstick to try and pull some shenanigans here. We now know, right, that the Aegislash has the Weakness Policy, so we could have, in all honesty, we probably should have gone for a we should have gone for a Max Darkness into the Goth, because that covers the Weakness Policy. And then with the lowered special defense and the lack of output, right, then we can go for the Flamethrower pretty safely. Whereas here, right, we're creating a scenario where you have a ton of damage onto us. I don't think Chansey is the right call either. So I think it's fine to leave that behind. I think our lead was good, right? The Meowstic having that ability to steal some abilities away. I think we could have benefited better just going straight for the safeguard. I think, yeah, I think the plan is to avoid triggering that policy on the Aegislash and forcing it out of its form and trying to go for damage that way. We do have Machamp, which is useful. Unfortunately, though, is the fact that it is going to be it is Guts, not No Guard, and we have knockoff, so it's a little bit scary in that regard. But I think things are fine, right? The issue with Machamp, right, is it is Flame Orb, so we don't want to safeguard should still be fine. But yeah, we're gonna. I think we run it back with Manectric, Meowstic. I think we want Machamp for sure, and then all these Pokemon are so bad right now into Aegislash and that thing. I think we bring Wishy-Washy though. The only reasoning for that is the fact that it has really good damage into Aegislash with Liquidation. So that's something also worth noting, right? We saw the Aegislash going for Protect, not King Shield. So that is also something we have working in our favor. I think we want to try and run it back again, though. We should probably see, yep, Mineshout Goth, same as expected. I think we set up the Reflect this time. Yeah, we set up the Reflect, and in the event that you want to try and do some shenanigans, I very much, yeah, would like to go for a Lightning onto the Mineshout, as well as go for a Reflect this time. My thought process, right, let's try and eat up some of that damage. If we can make it so Aegislash is forced out, that's really good for us. Trying to set up the screens, huge. We know that the Aegislash is physical, so something else in our favor. And also, right, that Gothitelle, we saw Fake Out, we saw Taunt, we saw Fake Out, Taunt, Trick Room, and probably some kind of support move in Helping Hand or Ally Switch. So yeah, expecting it to kind of go similarly. We could see a Fake Out followed by a Flutterby into my my Meowstic, trying to get the knockout that way and lower my damage output. But I think that that's fine if we can set up the Reflect the subsequent turn, as we are going to be able to get the max off. It is unfortunate though that Mineshout is faster. I am also really bummed that Chansey finally got knocked out, right? We had that amazing run with it where it was picking up KOs left and right, and now unfortunately there is going to be a KO next to its KO'd next to its name. So yeah, very, very, very sort of sad there. As we're going to see, okay, so we do get the Reflect up, which is huge, and we're going to see no Protect here. The fear is a Max Strike or a Max. Okay, so we are speed tying this Mineshout. That is huge amounts of damage. That is awesome to see. Yeah, very, very sort of good on our end. As we will take a little bit of chip. We are going to see the Flutterby up as expected. This should go out into the Manectric this time, which I think is a solid choice, right? Like Meowstic not really doing too much. We can steal some abilities if we want. That would be really cute. I'm hoping to get a, okay, so we see Fling revealed as the last move. Firing it off into this Mineshout, right? So Mineshout now going to get the Salic boost, getting a speed boost, not the end of the world here, as we do have that defense boost. I'm going to go click for another Max Lightning. We know that the Gothitelle has no attacks at this point. So I'm fine to set up a light screen, just trying to get in a little bit of a better position. And right, we're not going to make the same mistake we did in game 2 of triggering that weakness policy on the Aegislash. We are instead opting for pure other means of getting damage onto it. We can, for example, flare into the next spot, which gives us an opening with Flamethrower, and then just going for, we could go for Lightning Bolts, right? Like, or Thunderbolts with the lower special defense. So that's something, right, to take advantage of the situation. But we really just are trying not to get any damage off, and especially, right, we saw how little Mineshout did, which is huge. So we're going to be able to set up double screens here. I probably should have opted for a Light Clay, but that's fine. The Flutterby going to come out here into the Meowstic. So we're probably going to see what's it called? We're probably going to see a Trick Room come out from this Gothitelle, right? We know its attacks are Fake Out, Fling, Trick Room, and Taunt. So that's huge for us. We're also seeing potentially, if they go for a taunt into my Meowstic, we're going to be forced into struggle range. We could also see a Trick Room, right, trying to set up for an endgame, as we're going to see, yep, it is going to be that taunt, so a little bit unfortunate for our little cat friend, as it is going to be forced to struggle, which, you know, you never love to see that, but if we can break a sash, right, that's going to be huge. We have Machamp in the back with access to no guard knockoff, which is huge, as this Gothitelle, right, cannot do any damage into us. We saw the tricks last time. I'm gonna go for the darkness onto this Gothitelle, and I'm gonna, yeah. Oh, so struggle. Okay, so struggle. You don't even get to choose your target. So that's really unfortunate. But we are going to be able to fire off this darkness into the Gothitelle, right? We're not falling for the same trick twice. We're going to be able to lower some special defense and start firing off thunderbolts, saying, hey, we don't care. This Gothitelle, as we've seen, is absolutely dead weight at this point. Being able to fire off a struggle, it's going, unfortunately, into that Aegislash. We don't get to control that, which I think is unfortunate, and I feel like we should. We're going to see the Trick Room actually reverse, though. So that... that's fine with me. Manectric is free to go for a Thunderbolt. I think that this is smart, right? You're saying, hey, I'm not going to give you a chance to attack me outside of Blade form, or Shield form, so we're going to do that. We're unfortunately going to have to struggle with our Meowstic, right? Not able to switch out. We're assuming that Gothitelle has Shadow Tag. I haven't actually checked, but I have no reason to assume otherwise. And at this point, right, we have the Aegislash at -1 special defense. That's really, really good for us. The issue, though, is we are at -2. Fling not going to work with no item. We're going to see the stance change. So this is really good for us, right? You have no boost. We have an electric terrain, and we have, we have Life Orb. So we're going to, okay, Meowstic, please struggle into the Gothitelle. Not ideal, but we'll take it. Thunderbolt going to come out here doing hopefully a good chip. Perfect. Almost enough for that knockout, but not quite. The issue now is Aegislash is faster than my Manectric, which means that, like, I don't really know what my game plan is at this point, right? You are going to be able to outspeed and get the knockout. I did not know that it was so fast. We do have Wishy-Washy in the back, which potentially can help us. I don't actually, I don't know. We're not triggering that policy. We do have Machamp, so we can go for a knockoff at this point, right? Gothitelle not doing anything. Going for the taunt into my Manectric, which I think is fine at this point. We're going to see the Sacred Sword come out into the Manectric. I'm hoping that struggle... Okay, we do get the Static. Static is huge for us, right? Because now we get to bring out Machamp. We get to bring out Machamp, and we get to bring out Wishy-Washy. Please hit into the Aegislash and knock it out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Meowstic knocked out the opponent's Pokemon. I cannot believe it. Our Reflect is gone. The electricity is gone. So I'm expecting to see a Tangela in the back. So I'm going to bring out Machamp. I'm going to bring out Wishy-Washy. The issue is we just need to KO the thing that is not Gothitelle, right? We know that Gothitelle does not have Hypnosis, and 2, it does not have Taunt. So those are two things we really have working for us in our favor. Really creating this scenario where they're not able to do damage. That's awesome. Okay, so we are going to see the Tangela come out here. This is where I immediately regret not having Protect on my Machamp, as Andy did, because I unfortunately am not going to be able to change forms, or not change forms. I'm not going to be able to Protect to trigger my Flame Orb. I do want to go for the big knockoff onto this Tangela, just trying to get rid of its Violite, and go for an Iron Tail onto the Tangela as well, right? This is going to be our greatest source of damage, so we really have to go for that. We're going to see the Iron Tail. I don't know why the Wishy-Washy. Is there a Trick Room up? I forget if there's a Trick Room up. I don't know how anything works. Knockoff going to come out. There has to be. This is min speed Wishy-Washy. Energy Ball going to come out perfect right into the Wishy-Washy. So we're going to have, okay, the Trick Room is going to be reverse, normal. I don't know. Return to normal. Okay, perfect. Our light screen is gone. We do get the Guts boost. And now at this point, right, we can go for an Ice Punch onto this Tangela and go for a, let's go for a Protect here. I don't think that there's any reason to potentially risk losing one of our Pokemon and revealing unnecessary information. So I think Yeah, I think that this is the best sort of plan. Yeah, so, okay, perfect. Energy Ball gonna come out into the Machamp. Good targeting there, but I don't... Oh, that did a lot of... That's a critical hit. That's really bad. We're gonna see the taunt come out into the Machamp. That's fine. I only have 4 attacks. Ice Punch, I'm hoping will KO at this range. Otherwise, that's very bad for us. Okay, perfect. And now, right, we get to finish things off with our Machamp. And so the issue that I'm having, right, is I want to lead Machamp. I think it's a really good option. The main problem is everything, so we're not going to do that. We're instead going to go for the knockoff. We know that the Gothitelle is Salic Berry, and we're just going to click Liquidation just because, like, this is probably going to be the only time we're ever going to use Wishy-Washy. So, yeah, let's get the knockoff there. And then, yeah, okay, so we're fine to move into game 3. We'll deal with that later. And perfect, right? Game 3. So I think I don't have a reason to adjust. I'm wondering if I have a reason to adjust. I'm wondering if it's worth running like Manectric Wishy-Washy, just with the idea that we can make it so we can get the Mind Shao knocked out immediately. I think you have to adjust by doubling up into my you're gonna double up. You're gonna have to adjust by doubling up into my what's it called? Into my Meowstic. So I think it's actually fine to lead Manectric Wishy-Washy, just with the idea that we can try and force some knockouts that way. I think we bring Meowstic in the back to set up late game screens, and then bring out Machamp for sort of that late game sweep. I think this is fine though. Like I said, my main hope is you target down, or you expect to have to target down the Meowstic, right? And with the idea of fake out Flutterby, and we can sort of pivot around that. We know the Meowstic has Airstream. We know that it has Fighting, and we know that it has Flutterby. So my question now is, do you have a what's it called? A move that's... I don't think you have a move that's super effective into Wishy-Washy. I'm wondering if you have Max Guard, right? We haven't seen that revealed quite yet. So that's definitely something to consider. So worrying about that is considering that. I don't know what I'm saying. I just am really trying to figure out what I'm doing right now. Okay, so Toxtricity comes out here. So that is bad for my Wishy-Washy. Oh! Okay. We're going to... We're going to go for a Snarl here. I'm going to Snarl... I'm going to go for a Protect. This is potentially a throw. I'm hoping for a double up into my Wishy-Washy, right? At least targeting it down with the Manectric, or the Toxtricity, trying to get some damage up. We're instead going to see immediately off the bat, it is going to be that max Mind Shao, which is scary for us, right? We are not maxing in response, so that means you potentially can KO my Manectric, which I don't love, in all honesty. If we get the Snarl, okay, if we get the Snarl off though, we can potentially get a scenario where we can Quake into this Toxtricity and get a knockout that way. We're going to see the Airstream come out into the Manectric. I really do not like how much damage that's doing. A critical hit is why. Very unfortunate. I'm hoping for an attack into my... okay, Sludge Bomb. So we do unfortunately get red pretty hard here. And I don't think we can make a comeback at this point. I'm going to bring out Machamp. I just kind of have to at this point. What we can try to do is create this scenario where... okay, so what we want to do is... Nope, stop that. We want to go for a Max Quake onto the Toxtricity and go for a Liquidation onto the Mind Shao. And what I'm hoping to do is to create a scenario where we can kind of late game clean up. And basically what I want to do is I want to take advantage of the fact that we're staggering a turn versus this Machamp not this Machamp, this Mineshaw, to say, hey, on your last turn of Dynamax, we're just going to punch right through you. Yeah, that is the plan. It's probably not a good one, but we'll see. We're going to see an air... Oh, yeah, I knew that the Mineshaw had Airstream. Machamp taking that better than I expected. We don't have the Guts boost. We also don't have Protect because I made a mistake. We're going to see the Overdrive come out onto both. I did not know it hits both. We're going to be able to at least fire back a big Max Quake onto this Toxtricity, get the knockout perfect. And now at this point, right, we're going to get... Oh, it's Focus Sash. Just kidding. We do get a special defense boost. It does not matter at all. We're going to fire off a Liquidation onto this Mineshaw, doing a solid chunk of damage. But due to the fact that we're just going to get wrecked here. I'm going to click this button onto the Mineshaw. I'm going to go for an Earthquake. We're probably not going to... I don't expect to get it. We should just see an Airstream KO the Machamp. And then a single target Overdrive should be more than enough to finish us off. So I think we played very, very poorly, and we're getting punished for it. There's really nothing we can do at this point. So I'm going to send a quick GG and wait for everything to finish up, right? So unfortunately, yeah, we got really out damaged, and we didn't have good options. So I think that's unfortunate. I also think the big sort of issue with this is, like, as someone that doesn't gen, I'm at this huge disadvantage where I'm suddenly having to get all these Pokemon that I'm never going to use again. And that's really frustrating, right? Like, I don't know what Manectric can do. I could have run things a lot differently. I have no damage on this. Yeah, so it's a little bit unfortunate. Like, I used so many resources trying to make this team, like, and I ran out of everything. I couldn't do what I wanted to. So it's unfortunate. Like, I had to borrow Andy's Machamp, which is Guts, which I didn't want. I wanted No Guard, but I didn't have time to get No Guard. So it's just, I don't know. I'm not going to go into the, like, this isn't like a debate about, like, genning and playing legit in general. Like, I think that's a whole separate issue, but it's just frustrating here where it's like, these are Pokemon that I'm never using again. And the fact that I have to use resources on them is just, it's kind of frustrating. So yeah, we'll just kind of play it out at this point. There's nothing left to do but wait for the final KO, as I don't even know what move was used. I unfortunately am not paying attention, but yeah, that is the way it is. I do, like I said, have some other stuff that is kind of taking top of mind. So I'm just gonna keep clicking reflect as I have no damage moves, and then yeah, we just have to wait until next time. Take the KO to the face, and as we see the final animation come out to KO me. Might do that. All right, so yeah, good game overall. I really have been enjoying the league. It has been fun to use a bunch of different Pokemon, but it is sometimes just unfortunate when things don't go your way. But yeah, with that, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.